Hey, 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 hey. Howdy, hey. Love Dr. Nikki from Oranum.com here. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to week 3 of my mini Runes 101 series. And this week, we're going to be talking about runic groupings and how to use them. Now, last week we talked about paying attention to if runes belong to specific groupings. This week we'll be telling you what those groupings are. Now, the first grouping we have to look at is a very important one when it comes to the runes. And this is usually something that it directly relates to the spirituality and the spiritual warrior and that kind of thing. So it's really kind of important. It's when you're really looking at like major life things going on that you would want to do a cycle of initiation. And usually it's a very deep, meaningful thing. Now, the cycle you start with by focusing on each of the runes in the cycle. And the cycle starts here with Fehu and goes all the way around the circle and into Dagas, which is, if you remember, opening. So we start with Fehu, or excuse me, I'm sorry. We start with Anzus, which is signals or the messenger rune. Then we have Othelo, which is separation, retreat, and inheritance. Over here we have Uraz, which is manhood, womanhood, strength. Then we have Perth, which is initiation or something being hidden. Here we have Nothes, which is constraint, necessity. Then we have Ingas, which talks about fertility and new beginnings. So this is the first half of the cycle. And then the second half of the cycle, yes, I got to turn a page to make sure I get this right. Absolutely. We start with Kano up here at the top, and then we go to Burkana. And now Kano is opening in fire. Burkana is growth and rebirth. Iwaz is movement and progress. Halgaz is disruption and elemental powers. Rado is the journey, communication, union, and reunion. And Theresa is gateway, the place of non-action. And then finally we have in the center, Dagas. Now, Dagas is breakthrough and transformation. And the cycle of initiation is something great to kind of, some people go on a 13-day thing where they spend a day focusing on each one of the runes in the cycle. But a lot of times it's seeing that there's a lot of those runes that are in your casting that it's probably time to look a little bit deeper. So it is important to know the runes from the cycle of initiation. Now we have a few other sets of runes that I want to discuss with you. And remember, when you're doing your rune spreads or your rune castings, you want to check these runic groupings to see if you have a lot of any of them specifically in your casting or spread, because if you do, that means you want to look at those aspects. Now, the next one we're going to look at is the runic protection. And it begins over here with Kano and opening, and then Burkana, and then Othelo, Fehu, Ingus, and Theresa. Now with these are another way to use these runic groupings is if you're going into a situation where you feel fearful or you're not sure of yourself. For protection, you might want to write these 6 runes down on a piece of paper and slip it in your pocket. Some people write it down and put it like in a locket or an amulet that they wear around their neck. But these are the runes, the protection, both the spiritual warrior and the physical warrior. I have several friends that military wore them in their headband, on their headbands while they were over in the Gulf. Yeah. Now the next one we have is the grouping relating to physical healing. And this is really important if you're trying to heal from a situation or something that's happened and trying to move forward from it. And it's, I lost my paper. There we go. Here we go. And we start over here with Gibo, and then Algiz, Iwaz, Fehu, Tiwaz, Kano, and Perth. So if you were looking for physical healing, like if you wanted to do a special healing prayer, you might want to send this to someone who's in a point of physical healing. I've gotten several cards while I was in the hospital or as recovering from a medical issue where friends had sent me the physical healing grouping. And it's a great positive focus, and it also really helps you remember that you're trying to heal yourself. Now, the next thing we have, which in many ways is as important as physical healing, and that's emotional healing, the healing of the emotions. And sometimes that's harder to do than the physical healing. And again, we start with Laguz, which is flow, and then we have Iwas, Anzus, Iwas, Dagas, Theresa, and Gibo. And this is for help with emotional healing. Like if you just had a bad breakup with somebody, it's a great thing to either carry on your person or slip in your purse or just kind of even use it. I have a friend that uses that one as a bookmark so that she's constantly remembered to be in a state of emotional healing. So that's a good one to use and a kind of handy one. Now, the last one that I have for us to look at is financial healing or financial help. And it may seem kind of off to be looking at the runes for financial help or financial healing, but that's part of what we are and who we are today. And if we don't have our physical, emotional, and financial houses in order, we aren't in order. So a way to help focus on financials is Fehu, Ophila, Gibo, Jira, Laguz, and Ingus. And those are the primary groupings for the runes. Now, next week, I'll be talking about the last runic grouping, and we'll be going over that very specifically because that will be going over the love runes. And that one's always going to need more time. Love always takes time, right? If you have any questions about runes or how to use them or the cycle of initiation, I do hope you'll stop by and see me. I'm in my free chat a lot at Oranum.com, one of the best esoteric places on the web. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week with week 4, the love runes. Bye-bye.